As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Hello, y'all. It's nice to see you this beautiful Sunday afternoon. I hope many of you guys are back from the morning crew because we were going to open up the phone lines, but unfortunately we had church, and so I promised I'd come back and open up the phone lines. And it's just from this morning. We've been talking about some information that was released and some questions that ET was having. And of course, he was, condemned for questioning anything. And it did surface several things that I think are very, very, very important. The truck obviously is very important. Things to do with his mother seem to be hot button topics. It seems like calling in leads, it seems to be a hot button topic according to what we were hearing on there. And while I don't know ET, I don't know any of the people on that. We've just tuned them out for a very long time because they've been so negative and nasty. They think it's bashing because we're looking at information that's leading us down a specific road where they're just bashing to counteract us. We're not bashing. We're just talking about a case. We're talking about where the leads go, and they're upset that it's not coming from law enforcement. Law enforcement is not going to talk about this stuff. But if we find it, we can discuss it. If we hear it and it's placed on public platforms, we can discuss it, much like the stuff that just happened the other night on ET's channel, where the stepfather went up on a public channel, and just reared his ugly head again to try to control the narrative, to make sure that certain things are, contained, so to speak. And one of those major, wow moments is how hard he was trying to lead people away that his truck could have been in the area between the 25th and the 26th. And the story that's been kind of manifested from that is that it had to have been on the 26th. But we've gone over all the reasonable explanations that that statement most likely would not be true if it happened after 1 on the 26th, as opposed from the 25th to the 26th, if you get my drift. But those are the things that are up for interpretation and debate, because it was brought up and then, argued by the stepfather not to equate it to that, and, don't call to tip line. So it's like, it's a lot of bells going off and stuff like that. So there's been a little bit of resistance from ET here just recently. I don't know if he just heard something or if something happened behind the scenes that we don't know about or something like that. But either way, it doesn't sound like he's like totally going again. He just has questions. And I think he's concerned because of the resistance he's getting instead of just answering the questions in some of the cases seems to be more probable. Now, he did tell the whole world that he has some type of childhood trauma. It's not mine to say or repeat or anything like that. And he has autism. So it's like, it seems to me that this case touches a little home to him, and it just feels like something happened behind the scenes where this change of heart happened. That's just all I'm saying. So that's going to be the topic of conversation today on this channel. I'm going to say hi to everybody, and then we're just going to open up the phone lines because it really is an extension of the prior show. We just couldn't do it at that moment because of church. So Melanie, it's nice to see you. Truth and Time, Dawn, Melissa, it's nice to see you. Wendy, Pussy Willow Pendercat is up in the house. Let's see who this is. Yeah.
You said you have a 3-year chronic thing to head on.
Yeah, I'm on a live right now. I can't do anything right now.
Okay.
All right, thanks. All right. Sorry about that. It's nice to see you, Kendra, Misty. Good afternoon, Christina. Linda, it's nice to see you. Phil, Chaos, good afternoon. Nice. Bobby, it's nice to see you. Jen, Pink Butterfly. Donna, it's nice to see you. Cheryl, YouTuber. Natalie, Harley, good afternoon. Who else do I have up in here? Donna, it's nice to see you. Which reminds me, I forgot because it was over on the other side of the couch. When I was saying thank you to the people that got me a gift, I got another gift, Night Magic from Deb. Thank you, Deb. Thank you so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Smells great. Love it. So thank you for that. I still haven't figured out who sends the peppermint bark or this hoodie throw over me snuggle. Nobody's come forward yet, so I'm waiting for the guilty party to come forward. Or if they did, I haven't seen it yet. Psychic Amelia, it's nice to see you. Chaos, Melissa, hello. Football Mom is up in the house. Robin, it's nice to see you. Melissa, True Crime Addict is here. DNA, Peggy, Holly, it's nice to see you. Rhonda, Prayer Warrior Renee, it's nice to see you. Oh, Sweet Misery's up in the house. It's nice to see you, Sweet Misery. If you guys haven't gone over to Sweet Misery's channel, please go over and check her out. If one of my mods is in here and would like to throw Sweet Misery's channel down, I'd greatly appreciate it. Nanette, it's nice to see you. Danielle, it's nice to see you. Clarissa, she makes shirts as well. She sent me some cool shirts. I haven't worn those shirts in a while. I gotta go find them. They've got to be put away in my bureau. I don't know. I haven't worn. I've been wearing pink. It probably because it's on the top of the laundry pile. I'll just go grab one. Right, the clean laundry pile. FYI, you know how people like to spin words. Good gracious. Bill, it's nice to see you. Lois, Peggy, Gypsy Girl, hey. Jen, it's nice to see you. Michelle, Julie, Butterfly Kisses. Nanette, it just became the newest member of this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club. Thank you. Barb is up in the house. Merry Christmas to you, my love. Victoria, me and you. Prayer Warrior's been a member for 2 months. Sweet Misery dropped a gifted Bullhorn Betty membership. Thanks for the love and support, my love. Don't forget to tell her thank you. D for me, it's nice to see you. Frank, Kendra, hello. Bobby, it's nice to see you. DNA's been around for a while. I would give you the big old warm welcome, but you've already got it. Welcome back to the insane asylum. I hope you're doing well. Sharon, it's nice to see you. Michelle is up in the house reminding us, don't forget to hit that like button on your way in. Mystery X is here. It's nice to see you. Eeyore Blues, Laura, Mitzi. Hey guys, did I say hi to you, Kendra? If I didn't, I am so sorry. Hello. Carol, Sunset Gazing, Bryn is up in the house, Show Poodles, Tabitha, it's nice to see you all. It's nice to see you. So that's about as many people as I'm going to be able to get through. We've got 357 people in chat right now. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. So I just wanted to get your honest opinion of what's going on. You know, do you guys, how do you feel about the new situation, the truck, the behind the scenes stirring up garbage and crap unnecessarily? I mean, it just seems like a lot was thrown out there, and it seems like a lot to me. So anyways, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get the phones on. The numbers are 724-252-8070, and the phones are officially on. If you'd like to call in and just express your opinion, like, for me, I feel like something more has happened behind the scene that solidifies or potentially solidifies something disturbing to ET. Just my personal opinion is that something is disturbing. You know, obviously, we don't know who. This is Betty. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Sweet Misery.
Oh, hey. How are you, my love?
Good. I just have an issue with them, quote unquote, knowing things behind the scenes.
Yes.
And him going to law enforcement about everything. Like, I just don't like how evidently 3 people at least have talked to Katie and Chris and know things behind the scenes, but what do they know behind the scenes, and what are they taking to law enforcement with it? Is he like some kind of informant or something? I just don't get it.
Yeah, that's actually a really, really good question, because you're right. Like, how many people knew this information, and why didn't, especially since he's like the only dude, like there's more women in their clique of, you know, people than men. Why did it take a man standing up and doing it? What about the motherly instinct in the women? What kind of information did they know? How long have they known it? And why weren't they the first ones running to the law enforcement if their only interest is this child?
And Granny's like, I'm not putting anything out that law enforcement doesn't want out. If you want it out, you put it out. And he's like, well, how do I know law enforcement doesn't want it out? Just effing say it, dude.
Yeah, and not only that, but what? How would she know? She should either know that they did or did not want it out, because she should have been one of the people that called it in my opinion, if she knew something. Yep.
She knows they don't want it out. He knows they don't want it out, but they still keep on and on and on. They know something. They know. It's like they're throwing it in our face, and just stop it and say what you know. I mean, Southside doesn't do that. He says what he knows, you know, everything. And I'm saying sides because that's what they keep saying. And it's like Chris and Katie so quiet, but yet they're going to talk to these YouTubers.
That's only to stir stuff up. I mean, why else? You know, they're not really searching for them. Like when I talk to Tony or Seth, it's about stuff to do with Sebastian and next steps and, you know, like searches and vigils and, you know, it's not dirty stuff that they're doing. I can tell you that.
I don't know. I just wanted to say that it's not right what they're doing, and they're playing games with Sebastian's case. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's not right, and it needs to stop. And that's all I wanted to say.
Oh, well, thank you, Sweet Misery. It's nice to hear you. We need to bring you on the channel and do a little something soon.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, love. Thank you. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right. Next caller. The phones are ready for you. That was good. Hey, B-Buddy. Nice to see you. Ren, good afternoon. Melissa. It is another distraction. Is this a planned distraction. It could just be to change the focus. I don't know. This is Betty. Where are you calling from? Who's
I'm
this?
calling from Denver, Betty. Lord help me. I'm going to try to get through this. Seth really broke my heart last night.
Oh, yes. I know.
I had to step away from my computer and take a few minutes to compose myself. I felt his pain.
Mm-hmm.
And to see a grown man break down and cry was heartbreaking.
It was.
It was very heartbreaking. Now, I'm going to jump over to this other side. I feel there needs to be at least CP, KP, the Sox, both of them, Mr. and Mrs. Sox, SF, crab apple, and that nasty mouth chlamydia, that's what I'm going to call her, need to be locked up.
I feel like they're withholding. I feel like they're obstructing justice. They're using their platforms and saying they work for this parent or that parent and getting information and then not turning it over to the proper authorities. Are they turning it over? I'm sure they're turning it over to Chris and Katie. So is it just to do, opposition research? I mean, where's these leads going? Because it's my understanding they're called into law enforcement. So where are all these leads going, or this information they're hearing? Where's it going? It's not going to law enforcement.
It's not. And they need to be held accountable for hindering this investigation, because CP is telling these women that were on that panel the other day that was so disgusting with their mouths, all this stuff. He's telling that other creator, the ET creator, all this stuff, and nobody has brought that stuff out to law enforcement. All of them should be held accountable for hindering this investigation.
Yeah, and people were going to bat for the crackpot PI, saying, "Oh, he turned it over." Then why did he post that it's that he's not required to turn over any of his findings, which is not true?
That is wrong. He, by law, has to turn that over if it supports a criminal case.
Yep.
I do criminal justice classes, and there's been a few things I have asked one of my instructors about. He's the chief of police in Chicago, and he's also one of my instructors. And I said, look, I'm watching this case, and somewhere down the line, evidence from a private investigator is not being turned over to, he can lose his license and never be able to be a private investigator again. I hope he understands that. And if he's listening, I want him to hear that, because he is jeopardizing his own career.
Yeah.
By not turning that over in a criminal investigation. Now, if it was a civil matter, he wouldn't have to, but in a criminal investigation, he has to turn that over.
Yeah, and we know he hasn't been turning anything over because he admitted such on his own channel.
And I'm going to tell you, please don't mention the word truck, because it seems to be a set-off point. But I'm going to say it. That truck set him off the other night.
Yes.
When it was said that
himself out of I did not hear everything ET had said prior to that until I went back and I did another video, because I'm pretty sure there was a lot of people like me that didn't hear anything previous to that. But he said a lot of stuff before Chris came up, and that's the one thing Chris focused on. So I finally got, like, you came up here for the truck after all the other allegations I threw out there. You know, I mean, I never quite got that because I didn't watch the other. I thought it may have been a video or two back or something. But no, it was just earlier in that live, because it was a 4.5 hour live.
Right. And I'm going to tell you, Betty, he said, CP said he didn't get there until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's when his truck pinged. No, they said his truck pinged between the 25th and the morning of the 26th.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if that was his truck. And I overlay.
And then
It wasn't scientific.
Another thing that caught my attention, if he was in Memphis, why was his truck in Nashville?
Bingo. Those are the questions. But see, at the time, we didn't know these things. You know, this is like, these are building blocks that over time get leaked to the public. And it's usually leaked to the public by somebody that was friends with the, you know, the person, you know what I'm saying? Like they told them in confidence and then they had a falling out and now it's out there in the real world. So that's kind of what I feel like this whole truck thing, because think about it. None of us would have known this. I don't watch ET's channel. I don't think there's not very many people here on True Crime that truly watch his channel. And well, I shouldn't say it like that, but you know, like I've watched some of his stuff and he's talking about, you know, Mary Jane. And it's like, you know, that's just not my forte. I know it might be Steffers, but not my forte. And, you know, just like, you know, some stuff, but it's just not a person that I watch. And so I would never have heard this stuff about the truck. Long story short, I never heard of that. But because he made such a stink out of it, and it brought the stepfather to the show to try to stifle some of this down, his most concern out of everything stated was the truck. That's like huge, in my opinion. Sorry, go ahead.
It was. And just so you're clear, Betty, it takes longer than 24 hours for a DNA off of an item to come back. Mm-hmm. It could take up to a week, from a week to months. Mm-hmm. For them to clear these items that they said they did in 24 hours, mm-hmm. I find it really kind of fishy. Something there don't sound right. And that's coming from a student that does criminal justice.
Right.
Something just don't sound right there. And you cannot clear somebody by a telephone. When you do an interview, you bring them in, you talk to them, because it could be Joe Blow on that phone saying he was in that green hoodie, and you cleared him, not knowing that was not who it was.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like, from my understanding, it sounds like law enforcement found Green Hoodie and actually spoke to Green Hoodie. It doesn't sound like it was.
They spoke to him on the phone. They cleared him over the phone.
How did that get leaked? Because I don't think. How did we hear that?
I heard it. Actually, one of the hate channels had posted it on your Facebook page.
Well, I would be very careful with it, because that's the problem we've been having, is all the misinformation and disinformation there. I heard they actually spoke to them, like physically spoke to them. I mean, I guess I'll have to clarify on speaking, you know, how it was, whether it was over the phone, but I was assured that the Green Hoodie had been spoken to and cleared. So I'm wondering.
A lady in your chat just said who I heard it from, and it's right there. Nick Bears, whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm. Nick Bears.
The one that said it. He's the one that said it. That they cleared the lady by on the phone. Okay,
then I'll have to go back and check that out. If you've come across that clip, send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I'd like to just review it. I mean, I just don't. That's the only thing. Once I hear it, if it's true, it's true. It is what it is, you know. But I just wanted to make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's.
Right. Well, I don't trust Nick Barris either. So.
He'll tell his public anything the sheriff tells him. And the sheriff tells him that the clowns are running loose on Main Street. He's going to say the clowns are running loose on Main Street while standing on Main Street with no clowns running loose. I mean,
right. And that's why I have a hard time believing what he says. But I just, you know, I have, my heart goes out to Seth. And I am praying that when Seth wakes up Wednesday morning, his son is standing in his living room with him.
That's what all of us want. That's what all of us want.
Any true crimer and any parent could have is their kid at home.
Yeah, but you know what was worse? I mean, what I see more so than anything is like every time we see Seth, he's a little sadder and a little sadder, because I remember when he didn't show any emotion, you know, and now it's getting harder and harder for him not to show emotion, you know, and that's what's breaking my heart is just I just feel like you're just starting to, like, he can't contain his pain any longer, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's tried to be strong so much and bottle all that stuff up so much that he just has no more room for the pain, and every now and again he's got to let it out. I don't know. That's what breaks my heart.
I would like to know, I see him in your chat.
Huh?
Seth, I have an older son that drives semis for Walmart. He has one of Sebastian's flyers on each side of his cab's door going down the highway.
Yeah.
He gets questioned at the truck stop. Why do you have a missing flyer? He said, this child is missing out of Tennessee. We need to find him.
Yeah.
So when he drives his semi all over, Sebastian's poster is traveling with him.
Yeah. So I see Seth did write in here, and he says that it was in person. They did clear the person in person. So those hate, all they ever do is send out misinformation and disinformation to cause people to talk about other stuff than the true facts of the case, and it's just getting so frustrating. But that's wrong as well. But anyways, any last thoughts before I move on? I turn the phones back on and move on to the next caller.
No, I just want to wish Seth and you and the other real true crimers to have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
You too.
And let's bring Sebastian home to Seth.
Amen.
We got to get this child home.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for calling. Call again.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Getting the phones on. That was pretty heartfelt. I did, but at least we learned something. You know, it was in person. I didn't know that rumor was going around, or I knew the rumor was going around, but I guess I just assumed that we would probably get some more information on that than, especially like, I think at this point, people need to understand the hate channels haven't gotten anything right. There's a reason why nobody listens to them. There's a reason why, it's always gossip, gossip, gossip on those channels. Gossip isn't fact. And it just is, it's distractions. So the people over there obviously are not really wanting information on this case. That's the way we have to look at it. So please be careful where you get your information from. I forgot to turn. Hold on, let me get that comment down real quick so you guys can see the phone number. Yeah, 724-252-8070. Yeah, and just drama. And it's just, I'd rather be here talking about different things and getting my brain thinking of different ideas or where to look. Like even this, we're talking about the case, we're talking about what E.T. had said, some of his stuff going on, with that. And it is driving the message, but it's driving the right message, because at the end of the day, why is everything so weak on one side? And then the strength on the other side is vilified. It's vilified. You would expect both sides to be gunning to find Sebastian, both sides being active and open, both sides, begging the public to keep Sebastian top of mind. When on these hate channels do you guys even see Sebastian's face as they're bashing his father and saying it's in his honor? If you really want to, want to look at it like that. Like at the end of the day, when do you ever see it really being about the kid behind me? I don't know how many of them actually put this child's face on their channel. It is about finding a 15-year-old, now 16-year-old boy. You know what I'm saying? Yet nobody that's complaining about the advocacy we're doing even cares about putting his face on their screen. So the thousands of people that they're bashing all these people helping them in front of can't see their name, but they can see the squares up on their panels and their names, but not a missing boy's face and name. And we have nothing's wrong, nothing to see over there, right? I don't know how many times I don't have this child behind me or his face behind me when I'm live, except when I'm on the phone, because I can't do that from the phone, right? But when I'm on TikTok, it's on my green screen behind me. When I'm on here on StreamYard, it's on my green screen behind me. All these people are typically on StreamYard or some type of streaming platform and service to run their lives, so they can have those people up on there, because YouTube doesn't allow them to do group lives like that. You have to use a service to get that live in. That service is typically StreamYard that many use. Other people use Restream, and other people use a more open source platform to do that on. I don't know about the open source. I only know about the easy stuff that I can purchase online, right? But they have to be there. And so that means they have this ability right behind me to do on every single one of their lives. These people that say that they care about this boy. Maybe with me bringing up how for 10 months this boy hasn't been on any of their green screens or any of their lives, maybe, just maybe, those hate channels will now prove me wrong and start showing his face, instead of just complaining about everybody else trying to find him. Maybe actually do some actual work and some good with all that crotchety crap that comes out of your mouth. Just saying. The truth never changes, and stories don't get added to either. Absolutely, Mama Bear. Absolutely. Is the phone's not, do I have the phones open? Phones are open. You get cat got y'all's tongue? I'm sorry, Katie was definitely looking around for somebody in that restaurant. Yes, she was. And if Chris has his hand on the pot and knows people in LE, they will blind eye. It happened. What about the statement that he was the recipient of those photos? This is Betty. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Hi, Betty. This is Carol. I'm calling from Vermont.
Oh, hey, Carol from Vermont. I can't speak today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
So what do you think?
I was thinking about the truck, and I was thinking about a lot of things. I think that something happened in the house. Sebastian came out of the door, his bedroom door, I believe, and was going to protect his mother, I think. Or something happened in the house. That's what I know. And I believe that they went out the secret door, and they went to the car, and that's what Max told us, the dog. And when he went to the car where the car was parked, he followed the ground disturbance on the pavement as well, and followed it to the construction site. And I think there was another car parked there.
Yeah, and you know what? It was, we didn't know about a secondary. I always thought, I didn't realize until I got there how far away the construction site is from their house. Actually, I thought it was like basically right over the road, and it really isn't. It's like down the road and behind these trees and everything else. And so I had originally thought that those lights that turned on before we realized it was a vehicle, I thought that those were lights from the construction site telling them to come over there. And then when I realized the distance between the house and the construction site, I knew that wasn't plausible. And then Miss Bobby comes out, and then I found the car.
Yeah.
So you're right. There could be that secondary car that was over at that construction site. I believe
so. And it could be his truck. And even if it didn't pick up on his on their internet, it could have picked up on a neighbor.
Yeah, well, they didn't say specifically where it was picked up, other than they did a neighborhood geolocation or something, and it stated that only 2 were in the area between the 25th and the 26th, which is crazy because I just the way my brain is thinking. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. This is just how my brain processes it. And it tells me if they waited until 1, that was after all the law enforcement got there, all the FBI got there, all the Secret Service got there, all the neighbors came, kind of came home. People that would have normally gone to work decided to stay home to help in the search. There was just a lot. You would think that there would have been more after like 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., that there would be more than just 2 in the area. So it sounds like they did the canvass for the 25th into the early morning hours of the 26th. That would be my assumption.
Yeah, that's I'm pretty sure that's probably what they did.
And his came
and that's why the truck triggered him, because he knew the evidence was coming out. He knows.
And that scares me, because that means that he didn't, because one of our theories was he went to his mother's house and got her vehicle and went over there. If his vehicle was seen or picked up somewhere in that area, that means that theory does not hold water.
Right. Anyways, so I'm just watching what's going on.
Yeah.
And seeing what happens.
Why do you think E.T. started breaking his silence? Do you watch him at all?
No, I don't. But I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched what you put up and a few others. But I haven't, because I haven't had time right now. But what I think about that is, I think that I'm not going to tell you what I think about that.
Okay.
Because it might not be a good thing to say.
Okay.
But I just don't think I should. But I think that he's exposing CP.
Yeah. Little by slow. I feel like he hurts. I feel like something happened that we don't know about that really got under his skin and made him look at the situation and different.
He was probably lied to. Most likely, I would think.
Yeah.
And I think there might be other stuff too. I mean, I'm not going to say it, but anyways.
All right, love. Well, thank you so much for calling, and please call back.
Okay. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Got the phones back open. Yeah, you know what? She brought up a valid point, because, I wasn't even thinking about that in one of my other theories until it's like the light bulb went off the side, off above my head when I was just talking to her. And it's like, you know what? One of our theories, at least one of my theories, my personal theories, was that he left work, went to his mother's, acquired his mom's vehicle, thinking that would obscure whatever's going on. Again, just one of my theories. Many of you guys that have been with me for a while know that this is one of my theories. And took that vehicle over to that area and parked it, trying to park out of the light or out of the camera view. And that's why they parked in that area, is to get out of any camera view. And they just missed it by a car length. But that was one of my theories. But if it's true, now we don't know. I can tell you that E.T. never knew a time. He just said between the 25th and the 26th. It seemed like with a little bit at first, it was like, no, it's not this. I never gave you a time, but I told you the time. So it does sound like that E.T. knew for a fact it was between the 25th and the 26th, but did not elaborate on the time. So I wanted to make sure that was out there. We do not have a time corroborated or confirmed by any person or source, and the source that put it out there was E.T. So he hasn't even set a time. So for us to, assume is just that. It's an assumption. It's a rumor. It can't be taken as fact without other corroborating information that will solidify a more accurate time. Okay? With that being said, it's my opinion, and my opinion could be very much biased, because I think the mom and stepdad stink to high heaven. But if they are caught up in a sweep, let's think of when law enforcement would have done that sweep, okay? We got to hold that thought. Remind me where I was at. This is Betty. Who's this and where are you calling from? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, is this Betty?
This is Betty. Who's this and where are you calling from?
I'm Samantha. I'm from Texas.
Well, it's nice to hear from you, Samantha. What say you? You've been watching. What do you think about all of this?
Well, I just wanted to, I have social anxiety.
That's okay.
I just wanted to share my dreams.
Sure.
That I had of Sebastian.
If you can, just be cognizant that his father may be listening and watching. So just, if you can.
Okay.
Aw. Sounds like she...
Okay, so,
go ahead. Sorry, I thought you hung up.
Okay.
It wasn't.
So I'm gonna... Okay, in August, in April, I had a dream of Sebastian that there was a path, and in the front, I could see Sebastian standing. It was the photo of Sebastian standing next to Santa Claus, and for some reason there were people running back and forth, and no one could get closer to Sebastian. I was the only one running, and as I'm running to go hug Sebastian, I can hear my mother's voice calling me and telling me to come back. And I told her no, all I want is to see Sebastian.
Aww.
And I wanted to hug him. And as soon as I got closer to Sebastian, Sebastian disappeared.
Aww.
And it turned into an older man, kind of thick. He looked like a 5'9", 5'10". He had long hair up to his shoulder, and it was gray.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I hate that this upsets you. And I know if you're having visions, it's got to be upsetting sometimes what you see.
Yes. Well, I had that dream in August. I want to share another dream that I had in April. And after I had the dream that I had in April, I was very speechless. I couldn't even talk that day. I realized that I was inside a vehicle. For some reason, I had a feeling I was inside his truck. And I turned around. I was on the passenger side. But I don't know Sebastian. I never met Sebastian in person. But as I turned around, me and Sebastian were talking, and as if we've known each other for so long, even though I don't know him. And he had his glasses on, and he looked at me, and he was leaning to the front, and there was a back seat on the truck. I don't even know if that person's truck had a back seat. I'm not saying anything like that, but in my dream he was in a back seat, and Sebastian was talking to me, and I couldn't believe that, because he looked at me, and I noticed his back was leaning while he was sitting on the seat on the back of the truck. And his feet were tied with a white rope, and his hands were tied. And then, as I can hear Sebastian talking to me, I can tell that his voice sounds kind of cocky, and he uses like a noun. Like when he says his words, it sounds like a noun. And then he was talking to me, and then for some reason, even though I was talking back to him, I couldn't understand nothing that he was saying. And then suddenly, in the end, I heard him say, "Chris hurt me." He also told me that Chris killed me. And then I woke up. When I woke up, I couldn't talk.
I'm so sorry.
I couldn't talk all day. I was just shocked. And then the third dream that I had, that was in April. The third dream that I had in May, I could see Sebastian's face with like his glasses. And he was talking to me, but I couldn't understand what he was saying. And I've been wanting to share my dreams with somebody, but I just don't know who will listen.
Well,
And
you've got us all listening, including his father.
And I was born with different gifts that I can pick up people's energy, even in person, even through photos. And in my dreams, sometimes they do come true. And I just want to know why. Why was somebody hurting him? I have an autistic son. He looks just like Sebastian. And I have a brother that looks just like Rogers. He really broke me. And I started thinking after I had that dream, the second one about the one that I realized I was in that Chris' truck. I realized a week after I had that dream, I said, wait a minute. Maybe Katie has Sebastian hidden alive somewhere. I started thinking, why would she take his life? Look at all those beautiful pictures he has, well dressed. She took him to fun places. You know, we even saw it in YouTube. She took him to expensive restaurants. You know, I wish she'd take her only son's life. And I know Sid's an amazing dad. And then after I realized that maybe Katie had him hidden a week after that second dream, that nightmare I had, I started thinking, wait a minute. If my mom and my dad took turns hiding me as a child, I always knew that, but for some reason, I didn't think about it. And adding it to Sebastian's case, I started saying, wait a minute, if my mom, my dad took turns hiding me, and it wasn't because they put each other in child support. They didn't even call the cops on each other. They're still married from right now. They're still married, but they've still been separated. I remember my mom, she took us away from my dad. 3 years, she had us hidden. Me and my siblings, I couldn't see my dad for 3 years. And I did suffer a little depression, but I was too young to understand.
But were you with your mom when you were hidden? Were you with a family?
Yeah, my mom. My mom took me to different cities, and it was still the same state. But And for 3 years, I didn't see my dad. And then after that, my dad took us away from my mom. I can't say kidnap or whatever, right? Because he's still my dad. But my mom was at work and I had a babysitter. My dad took us away from my mom for 5 years, right? I didn't see my mom for 5 years. But I still had a good childhood with my two parents, right? But there was no child support involved. They're still married, and then, I just think they did it just to get back at each other and hurt each other. But in the end of the day, you don't hurt each other. You're just hurting your children. And I started thinking, wait a minute. This happens a lot everywhere. How many Amber Alerts they go off that a parent or someone that they know takes a child and, they can't find them. And I started thinking, wait a minute, Katie probably has Sebastian hidden somewhere. But I don't know because it's been so long, but there's still chances Sebastian can be alive. And I truly have faith and hope that Sebastian is alive.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, and I'm glad you got to share your dreams, and at least you got to share them with the right people.
Okay, thank you so much, Betty.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, that was a little emotional, I've got to say. Even me, I wanted to hear, what was she seeing, because obviously it upset her very, very, very much. And it's hard. It's hard. Yes. Prayers for you. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to turn the phones back on. If anybody has anything to see, and just to let you know, caller, yes, that particular make and model of vehicle does have a back seat. This is Betty. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Turkey Man. How you doing, sis?
Oh, Turkey Man's up in the house. It's nice to hear your wonderful voice. Before we go, I'm going to ask you to pray, so you can take your choice to pray before or pray after.
Let's do after. That's okay.
Perfect.
Well, I just come in from church, and I was sitting down, and I was turned on the YouTube, and there you were.
Mm-hmm.
And usually you don't have the phone up, and I thought, I'm going to take this opportunity to say hey to you and wish everybody out there, all the callers and all the coffee beans and all the friends of Betty, to hope you have a Merry Christmas. And I wanted to, the caller that called there, it touched my heart. And, this time of year, we have so many people that lost loved ones and around Christmas, but this is a time of miracles.
Amen.
And time of things happening that, because it was a miracle of baby Jesus being born. And I hope that you get an opportunity to listen to our service today, Betty. If you do, share it with the ones out there, because I think I touched a little bit on what the caller was speaking of, and what you're talking about and what's going on. I kind of touched on the message today. Jesus, at 12-year-old, he was the first Amber Alert. He was separated. He got separated from his parents. They thought he was with family members as they was returning back to their home after they had been there for the Feast of the Passover, and then they returned home, and he wasn't there. And so it took three days from the journey back, and they found him in the temple, teaching and preaching at 12-year-old. And he simply said he was about his father's business. But I'm saying this, that time, at that moment, Jesus' earthly parents had lost a child for 3 days. And we're going through all sorts of things in their mind. And I was thinking about that. I was thinking about just how that when we're at our ends, especially here in Christmas, don't lose sight of Jesus. Don't lose him. Stay close, because he will comfort you when you're comfortless. He will be there when you feel like that nobody else cares. And the caller that called in there, my heart bleeds for her. But we don't understand dreams. Sometimes some dreams are just, they just happen. Sometimes because we've seen some, and some of them have meaning. And I'll share one that my dad's been gone, passed. I miss him today. That old saying, you get over it. No, you won't. You still miss them. They're still part of you, and you miss them. But here a while back, it's been a while I preached on this message, by the way. Preached a message on this, but I was about 5 o'clock, 5:30, and my wife was up. And I told her, I said, I had the strangest dream last night. It didn't make no sense, not at all. I said, I seen my dad. And I said, it was this room. It was lit up. I could see under the crack of the door that it was lit up inside. And I went in there, and there's Dad. He's painting this wall. Now, Dad's got his old painter's hat that he always had. I can see it today. His old white hat and had different colored paint on it. And he always wore a long sleeve shirt and had his button down around his sleeve or wrist and around his neck. And he had a paint tray there, and he's running a roller in it, and he was putting it on the wall there. And I seen behind him there was paint, an empty paint bucket of another color. It was the brightest color yellow I had ever seen, and it was empty paint bucket behind him, but he was working with a real odd color blue paint. It was a dark color blue paint, and he's putting just a strange color blue paint on the wall, real dark looking. And I said, Dad, what are you doing? And he gave me that grin that I could see today, or that sheepish grin that he has. And didn't say a word, just grinned, and he kind of reached in that, got that roller back in that pan and went to putting it on the wall. And all of a sudden, I said, well, Dad, where in the world did you paint? That gaudy yellow paint? Where'd you paint it? And he kind of gave a gesture to like look around the corner. And so as he dipped in and painted, I looked around the corner, and that room was just canary yellow. It's awful. But it almost hurt your eyes. It's so bright. And I come right around and come out of that dream. I told my wife, it's the strangest dream I ever seen. It ain't no sense. I got me a cup of coffee. She went about back in the back of the house. She come back, and I said, honey, I know what it meant. I know what the dream means. I said, Dad was saying, no matter how dark it goes, just keep putting it on the wall. Just keep putting it on, no matter how dark it is. On the other side is a bright light. And, sometimes you have an answer.
Yeah.
But not always, but sometimes. But, that's what I felt like Dad was saying. It's dark. It may be dark, and just keep putting it on the wall, because around the corner is a bright room, a bright light shining. But I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, and I hope parents that's lost their kin or somebody they dearly, that they get comfort this time. But remember, Jesus was the first Amber Alert, and his parents missed him. We love you guys, and I'll close in prayer. But, Betty, you keep doing what you're doing. Just put it on the wall. It'll get right.
Thank you.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for what you mean to us and what the season this is. And these ones that's lost loved ones, that's missed friends and family members. And we know that you cried because of Lazarus' death, even though you returned him to life and knew you would. But that feeling you missed him made you shed tears, and we shed tears over our loss of our loved ones. But we know that through you, all things are possible, and through you, we'll meet again. So be with each one out there in this season. Let them know that this is a season of miracles and that you are the miracle. Thank you so much. We love you and so much, Lord. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Turkey Man. Thank you.
Well, you guys have a good and a Merry Christmas and a New Year.
Love it. Love it. Take care. Bye-bye, my friend. Aw, that was super sweet. Love Turkey Man. Love Turkey Man. I have call for one more phone call. One more phone call. The topic of conversation. Sebastian Drake Rogers, the new distractions. Is it a distraction or is it somebody overflowing with grief from holding something, too much baggage on their shoulders? Phone number 724-252-8070. We have time for one more caller. Well, what a beautiful live. It has. It absolutely has. Here's our last caller. This is Betty. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hi. Are you live?
I am.
Hi. Oh, there's a delay. Hi, honey. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on in this case, what the new information is.
We're just discussing a video that came out on another channel.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, I'm not sure. Merry Christmas, everybody. And it's hard to look at the phone and try to talk. But I don't believe that Sebastian is gone. Either he's gone, or they're all involved. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Seth, too. I don't know. Something is off big time.
Why would you assume if they can't really even come to an agreement on where to put their son, and Seth was at work, and they can't even speak to each other nor look at each other and have had problems doing that for several years, how do you conclude or make the, just out of curiosity, make the leap that it's either all or none?
Well, because Seth seems to have some type of I don't know what to say against Chris. He seems jealous. Okay, like he almost still is in love with Katie. I don't know.
I have not gotten that. I've been around that man. Anger. I know there's some anger there. I mean, he got 5 reports showing that this man has done. We don't know what's in those reports, but he's clearly made it very clear something bad.
To his daughter, Chris, to
Seth's son.
To Sebastian.
Yeah.
Okay. So he physically abused him, or? That's
what it sounds like to me. 5 different reports in a few, 17, 18 months. That's a lot. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, but how? So then I would lean towards Katie being responsible and having a fit of rage and something happening on the way home. I don't know how they punish them, but they say that you're allowed to lock your kid out of the house.
Who said that?
It was a doctor, I think it was Doc Snipes, about kids with autism. You can lock them and set them outside and say you're not allowed back into this house until you behave properly. And I was just appalled at that because I know I would be arrested.
I think that would be very counterproductive for a child with autism.
Right. And that's what they're teaching, how to discipline these kids. We can't take a paddle to their butt when our principals could paddle us. The kids have lost control. Then maybe he did run away.
And then we also do the biggest revelation, I think, that came out over the last few days is that there is a possibility of the stepfather's vehicle being in the area at the time of his disappearance.
They're never going to find him. Then I'm sorry, my gut just sank. He's a construction worker.
Yeah, well, he's on a crane, yeah.
Yeah, Yeah,
He has
I'm
a construction
sorry.
mind.
I'm sorry to even call and bother you. This just breaks my heart now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for the confirmation.
Hey,
I'm
no
sorry
problem. Take care. God bless you.
as well. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Well, that was our last call. We want to keep the hope alive and, pray. Life's a little funny, life's a little funny. And sometimes in a good way and sometimes in not so good ways. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is out there. It's this beautiful smiling boy behind me. I absolutely pray and hope that he is brought home and brought home safely. But moreover, he didn't disappear by himself. So wherever he's at, whoever took him, whoever put him wherever he went, I pray to God has to take responsibility for their actions, because this boy deserves to be with his father. He's already missed his 16th birthday, already missed a Thanksgiving, a Halloween, and now we're approaching Christmas and we're praying for a Christmas miracle. I know a lot of people are in a lot of pain right now. A lot of people across this country. People are struggling from ailments, loss of life in their family, financial problems, dealing with something like this. I mean, Seth is not a unique person. This is happening all over the country. Somebody is missing their loved one right now and has no idea where they're at. So I pray that we're, in Sebastian's honor, through the season, through the holiday season. I pray that we can all just be a little kinder and more positive to each other, right? His father put out a challenge. His father's challenge was, if you want to do good and want to help, print out 10 flyers, post 10 flyers. So now we have the 10 flyer will do challenge. I hope everybody participates. If you do, please send me an email with a picture of you posting a flyer. Maybe if we can get maybe we'll do something like everybody that sends me a photo of posting a flyer, we'll put you in a drawing for a Bullhorn Betty shirt from Sonia's shop. Because I'd rather give Sonia the money than Teespring, personally speaking. I'm a horrible advertiser for myself. I gotta be honest with you. It takes too darn long, okay? Let's be honest. We love that. I thank you for the support. But after you give my shop the support, if you want faster shipping, reach out to... Oh, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Oh... But anyways, but that's what we'll do. Why don't we do that? That's what we'll do. We'll give this, let's say for the next 2 weeks. Over the next 2 weeks, and this goes for anybody across social media. And if other creators would like to participate in this challenge with me and maybe make a bigger sponsorship, that would be great. I can only afford a shirt. Okay, I got legal expenses over here. But the shirt is worth it, right? And I know they're great quality shirts and you will love it forever and ever. Amen. So what we'll do is we have 2 weeks, 2-week challenge. Whoever gets 10 flyers up, takes a picture of you posting a flyer, send it to my email. I will set up a messenger app and throw them all in the messenger app. At the end of 2 weeks, we will pull somebody. I'll write everybody's name down, or I'll have one of my mods write everybody's name down and stick it in a shoebox or a cup or whatever and draw a name. And whoever's name is drawn, you will get a free t-shirt sponsored by moi. Okay? How about that? Does that sound good? My email is bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. If you want to know the proper spelling of it, there you have it. It's at the bottom of the screen. Write it down. Be part of the challenge and make a difference for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. That's something that we can do. And it's something that will help at least get people, maybe to help out. Maybe they really love Bullhorn Betty and they just are dying to wear my shirt. One of these days, I might get rid of one of my shirts, sign one of my shirts, and auction it off to the highest bidder. Well, I still have the original Gabby Petito Bullhorn, but I think that's going to go in. I think that's going to stay with me for the near future. So I'm originally from there, moved to Georgia 6 years ago. Gotcha. I think CP is more jealous of Seth than Seth being jealous of CP. CP always had to have his way all the time, in my opinion. I just didn't get the whole jealousy thing. You know, some people see into things that are a little different, and I'm glad that I got to inquire a little deeper, and it just sounds like there's some information that some people just don't know, and that's the power of these platforms. You get more information out there. It could be bad information or it could be good information. Is my stuff a little jaded? Yeah, because I think parents did something terrible. And, it took a lot to get here. But now that I'm here, it's got to take an act of God and some amazing freaking miraculous evidence to get me away from here, But I'm not married to my opinion of this, right? This is based on the information we have. We don't know what there might be something law enforcement has in their back pocket that might change the whole dynamic of this whole case, But what we have right now is not good, right? It's not good. And it makes the mom and stepdad sound, "You're a liar!"
Liar. 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 Liar.
You're a liar.
Liar.
Nice try, but you're a liar. Liar, liar, liar. Nice try, but you're a liar.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. L-I-A-R. You a liar.
I think I like that one. We're going to have to that's going to be our little clap. We're going to have to start practicing that when we get to that one. L-I-A-R. You're a liar. A liar. What is that? A liar.
The lie detector test determined you are a liar.
No, it didn't. He didn't even take one. All right, crazy kids, you go have a wonderful day. God bless each and every one of you. I'm glad we got a chance to open up the phone lines. It looks like we, I like Samantha, I hope we helped get some of that stuff and unburden you a little bit with some of that stuff that you've been carrying around and other people, So I thought this was a very, very good live. I'm very thankful for everybody that called in. I just want to tell you guys, if anybody's struggling, I love you. I hope you don't feel alone this year or unvaluable, because you're very valuable to me. I love seeing your smiling faces or smiling emojis in my chat every day, and don't know what I'd do without one missing. And I occasionally remember, I call people out sometimes. I'm a shitty communicator. So that's going to be one of my goals in 2025 is to be a better communicator. So I love you guys. I want you guys to take care. God bless each and every one of you. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. But don't forget to be fearless, and don't forget the challenge. You want a Bullhorn Betty shirt. I want to give you a Bullhorn Betty shirt. So email me, you posting 10 flyers. Be part of the 10 flyer challenge. Take care. God bless. We'll see you soon. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels. and Bullhorn Betty crime stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.